So like, what was my question? What do you? I guess. Oh shit! I forgot my question.
I have a question for
All
you.
right, go ahead.
Well, I'm just curious why you hated your job so much. Was it
um,
the job itself, or just the fact that you had a boss telling you what to do? You know, it was 8 hours a day,
right.
every day
Yeah.
for 5 days out of the week, and that sort of like was a bit of a grind, or was it that what I just can't stand a minute of this?
Right. Um, I've never really enjoyed jobs in general for the reasons of like I don't like working for other people. I don't like depending on other people either. So I was doing sales, like
Okay,
inside sales. Um, so we were selling credit card terminals to Canadian businesses.
okay,
So like the thing you put your credit card in,
right.
like if you go to Wendy's or whatever,
The
we were
chip
selling
readers.
those. Yeah.
Okay.
So we sold those to Canadians
Mhm.
for some reason. I don't know why a Binghamton office was calling Canadians. Um, so we had to do 100 calls a day at least, um, just trying to sell stuff.
Mhm.
Uh, so it just got to be a lot in terms of talking to people on the phone.
Right.
Some people just don't care at all, or they're
Mhm.
just rude as shit. So I was like getting pissed at that. My boss and everyone I worked with was great, but like I hate depending on other people to get stuff done.
Okay.
So like when I would sell an account, then it would go to underwriting, and
Okay.
they would have to approve the application and everything. So I'd be waiting for this, and then the person I sold to would be calling me
Mhm.
like, "What's taking so long?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Like it's not in my hands." And like I want to help that person as much as I could, but I just couldn't.
Uh-huh.
And like they don't understand that, so it was just a lot of dealing with that. It was just a lot, like
Well, like you said,
it's
150 calls a day.
100. You
100.
had to average 100 a
Right.
day. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just uh, having to deal with, you said, rude people, a
Yeah.
lot of rejection. I'm sure. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want anything that you're selling. I'm not interested.
Right.
Get out of my face, sort of thing.
And they make you call them back.
Yeah, that's
If they
pretty
do
brutal.
that, that's what the annoying part. It'd be like, stop calling me. I don't want to do this. And they would hang up and they're like, you got to call them back. I'm like, why? So it's just stuff like that. It's just ridiculous. That sales, like, I could see myself possibly doing sales. Maybe not
Over the phone.
over the phone. Yeah, maybe outside sales I could try, um, without like that constraint of having to do 100 calls, or like just different rules. I guess I don't know the whole calling back. It's still I'm still trying to figure it out.
Right.
How I actually kind of want to try dog training. I think that'd be kind of fun.
That's pretty crazy.
I went. I don't even know if I told you. I went to school for cell bio.
Okay. Yes, I do remember you saying
Yeah,
that.
and then I got. I worked at Five Guys in Binghamton. Hated it. That was awful. Um, and then I got this job. Obviously, quit. I was back home in Rochester. I was a receptionist
Mhm.
from like 16. I actually still technically work there, so like that's the longest job I've ever had. Um, and I actually enjoy that one. That one's fine. What have you worked at like fast food or anything like that?
Um, Not fast food. That I think that's probably a different kind of hell. But um, I was a bagger for
Mm.
ShopRite, a grocery store. Um, that was 5 hour shifts.
Standing the whole time.
Yeah, I mean that wasn't the worst part. It was just boring.
Oh yeah.
It was just kind of standing around. It's hard to have a chance to like you work with a cashier, so it was hard to have a chance to just like talk to them because
Yeah.
it was always busy.
Yeah.
So you're always like making sure that there you go.
And no one even talks to the baggers. Everyone talks to the cashier.
Yeah,
You're
I
just
mean
in the back.
a lot of it
That
was me
sucks.
just like tuning it out. But the thing was, I only did it for a summer.
Okay.
I didn't. I like there was an end goal.
Yeah.
I could quit whenever I wanted
Just
to.
make money.
It was just to do something to keep myself busy.
Right.
If you are a bagger or a cashier or worked in fast food and there was, no end in sight and you had to pay rent every month,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know how I couldn't
I
do
don't
that.
I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people like they have no choice obviously,
Mhm.
but like I I can't see myself just working really anywhere for like 40 years. That just scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, even though like I'm paid like a livable salary
Right.
and I enjoy what I'm doing and there's a lot of flexibility in my job.
Hmm.
It's crazy to think that, you know,
It could be like a lifelong career for you.
yeah, yeah,
That's wild.
and it's the same thing, like the 8 hours a day,
Yeah.
5 days a week, every day, you know. I haven't felt that I've been like overworked. I don't
Hmm.
feel burned out, but you know, you see some people, they
Yeah.
definitely feel that way. So,
It really just depends like how long you've been there. If you enjoy it, then like obviously I would do the same thing. If I enjoyed a job, I would stay there. But like then as soon as I like to have the flexibility to be able to leave if I want to change. Like I don't some people see a problem with like kids our age
mhm.
like getting these jobs and then quitting after like a year, but like I don't think there's any problem with it. If I feel like we realize that if we're not enjoying what we're doing, we're not afraid to stop and do something else.
Sure.
And like I feel like some the adults, boomers, if you want to call them, and like our grandparents and stuff, they think we're like entitled because we're just getting these jobs and then quitting. But I think it's just we see opportunities differently. I don't know. uh,
Yeah, well, I mean, I understand why somebody might say, for example, you quit your job, and someone might say, "Well, that's a crazy thing to do.
yeah,
You had a job, and now you don't. Why would you do that?"
yeah. Especially since
Um,
I have to pay rent and stuff, and I'm not making
exactly.
it. Yeah.
So, but I think that's their mindset is like that because they've had to do their job for so long,
Hmm.
probably, and they have to pay mortgage, pay
Yeah.
for their kids.
Right.
I mean, financially speaking, if I got fired tomorrow and I, couldn't find a job
Hmm.
for I don't know how long, I wouldn't die. My kids that don't exist wouldn't die. But for them, that it would be a
Yeah.
problem. It would be a
Right.
serious problem. So I would see it from that perspective. Like, they've probably what's happened to them is they've kind of um, on purpose
Yeah.
removed the flexibility from their life.
Yeah.
If I got a dog, that'd be very nice, but I couldn't move if I had a dog. Most likely, it would be more
Yeah.
difficult. I can go on a trip.
Right.
Imagine having a family. Like,
Yeah. No, that all makes sense. Like there's it gets to a point in your life when you can't do that. Like you
exactly,
can't take the risk like I did.
exactly.
Like once, thank God I'm not a full adult yet, and I don't have to pay for a mortgage, don't have to pay for kids,
Mhm.
none of that stuff, like car payments or anything like that. Thank God, or else I wouldn't have been able to.
Exactly.
So like, I'm glad, and like I feel like a lot of kids our age don't really realize that. Like now's the time when you kind of can do that
That's
and
absolutely
figure it
true.
out.
That's absolutely true.
So like that's what I feel like we should all be doing is kind of realizing that we can take that risk
Mhm.
when like between like right before college. If you don't know if you want to go to college, then maybe you should hold off because it's expensive as hell.
Yep.
Um, and like up to I don't know, like 30ish maybe. So like that's like your window of time to kind of figure shit out. And I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people
You
don't
got
take
12
that.
years.
Yeah, 12 years to do whatever the hell you want, travel or
Mhm.
whatever. That actually leads. I remembered the question.
Okay.
It's so if money wasn't an issue at all,
Uh huh.
what would you want to do to spend most of your time?
Um, I'd probably start by playing poker more.
Texas Hold'em.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Um,
rad.
although part of the enjoyment of that is winning money that I use for things.
Right.
So if money weren't an issue, then it would be less exciting probably.
Mm,
Um, I mean, beating people at the game is fun,
yeah.
but actually having the money afterwards is more fun.
Are you in poker club?
Yes. I used to be. I graduated, so I'm not really in it
When
anymore.
were we in it at the same time?
Well,
I was only in it my freshman year in 2016.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I would say I was a freshman 2015, I guess. So
Hmm.
I mean, I've been
Well, yeah, I
in the club
started
for
a
a while.
semester late here,
Okay.
so technically I would have started in 2015 fall, but I came in second semester.
Yeah. I mean, that was a long time ago,
It
so
really
I
was.
don't remember everyone from
I
that
don't either.
moment.
I don't remember anybody.
But
Uh,
that is how I got into the game for sure.
oh, really?
Yeah.
You didn't play it before that?
Not really, not at all. Yeah.
Interesting. That's that's wild. If we probably played at the same table at some point.
Probably.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
All right, so poker. Anything else? What would you want to do?
Um. Well, I mean, traveling is what most people would probably say, and I guess I would do that. I don't. I mean, traveling's fine. I probably like. I think people are very romantic about the whole
Yeah.
thing. I mean, I if I saw the Grand Canyon, I probably wouldn't cry. I would say this just looks like the pictures.
that's that's what we said. I just actually went to the Grand Canyon for the first time,
Uh huh.
and my aunt is always like, "It's just a big hole in the ground. Who cares?" And then you see it, and it's like, "Holy shit,
It's
it's
humbling in a whole
huge!"
different way.
But like, yeah, it's a big hole in
Interesting.
the ground. That's really,
Oh, okay.
but it's awesome. It's beautiful. It's just gigantic. It's like 20 miles wide.
Hmm.
It's fucking wild.
Yeah. So I'd probably go and travel because that's what you do. But
Yeah,
I mean,
not like full time though. You wouldn't want to do anything. Just here and there. Just kind of go whenever you want.
yeah, I'd go to a lot of probably sporting venues. Like I'd
Yeah,
want to go to a lot of football games and a lot of baseball games, and you know, and then I would probably get bored. I mean,
yeah,
I'd give myself maybe 2 years of just fucking off,
yeah,
and then I would get bored and want to do something. Um, what that is, I have no idea.
yeah. Okay.
But personally, if I didn't have a job, I would be very unproductive. Almost certainly do nothing a lot. So
Yeah,
it's very. I think it's good for me that I have to go out and like be a contributing member to society,
yeah.
and that you know I need money to buy things because otherwise I'd be very
Just be
unproductive.
lay. Would you just lay around all day on your phone watching TV, or what would you do?
For a long time, I probably would because
Yeah,
that's what I did when I was in college a
right.
lot, and that's what I did when I was in high school. It was a lot of laying around doing
Yeah,
nothing, and I think that's what most people do.
yeah. That's my problem. I, I, I'm trying to like work on the podcast and
Hmm.
YouTube, so I'm doing some editing and all that shit.
Hmm.
But like, I do kind of just slack off and just kind of sleep in a little too long. I go to the gym and then I might just spend too much time on my phone or watching a couple episodes of TV, whatever it
Hmm.
might be. So I do need that kind of structure
Yeah.
of a job.